underneath when we do the when. So let's do when right now.
So let me clarify. This that we're talking about, we're doing the prototype, and then we have a vision of where we want to do seminars in different places.
Yes.
Now,
This
are
is
we
the
talking
outline.
about the prototype? Which
This
you're
is
doing
the
here?
yes, because when you answer these, it will show us where we need to work and what stuff we need to get together to do it.
Okay, so it'll be like Sabbath afternoon.
Yeah, because okay. Okay. The reason it does this because this is just the basic blueprint. When you fill this in, it's easier for an event planner to put everything together where nobody has to work.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it's harder for trying to get everybody together on the same page. It's really difficult.
I mean, we want to make it easier for you.
Yeah, so this is it. So we want Saturday evening, Sabbath evening, and we don't have a time. Do we have a time? So one thing.
Sabbath evening would be Friday night.
But what time?
Sabbath afternoon at,
Do we have a time?
Kathy's doing the math.
I'm trying to figure it out, yeah.
What is it, like 3 o'clock-ish?
Yeah,
3:30?
it is.
It's going to be Sabbath afternoon, not evening.
Yeah.
Because
It's
Sabbath
on
is from
Saturday.
evening.
Is there a
from
difference?
yeah, because the Bible says Sabbath is from evening to evening. So Sabbath evening is actually Friday night.
Okay.
And it's Saturday afternoon, so that's Sabbath afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
Does that
So
make
what
sense?
time is afternoon?
Well, 3 o'clock-ish.
I think we ran into this, did we not, Enoch? 3 o'clock?
What?
You had to send me an email, remember? Because you're like, are you saying evening or are you saying
Oh.
afternoon?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this part of the country is a little different. In Montana, when we moved to Montana, people had supper. Supper, I think, is dinner.
Yeah, some people
Dinner
call
is lunch.
Yeah, some people call dinner lunch, and I've
Okay.
heard that too.
Okay.
But we're looking at following the
Well, it's important for us all to have the same terminology because I always thought afternoon was different from noon to 6 o'clock at night. that's where I grew up.
and that is
Yeah.
when we're
Okay.
doing this
And then night it starts at
6 o'clock
or whatever.
evening. Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have a time yet.
Oh,
About 3-ish.
3?
o'clock.
That is it? Okay.
Yeah, you wrote it on the board too.
Well, no, that was for my information.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so 3 p.m. So this is important. Okay, and we said at the church, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, it could be anywhere, but I figure
Right.
maybe in the sanctuary
Yes.
might give us a
And
more
then
realistic example.
Our reason for why is what?
The reason of these events is to test the frameworks, to get feedback to improve the worksheets. We're testing the frameworks on people to see where they get hung up.
Okay, and this is not where we want to invite people. This is where we want to use our in-house people.
No, we want to invite people.
We can invite people, but our focus is not
Yeah.
inviting people. We can
Right.
invite
So let's
people, like we can define who. The type of people who we can invite here are those who are comfortable with a trial events, who understand that that this isn't like the event, this is preparing for.
Why don't we do it this way? Like because if we bring too many people in, we're going to have to explain a lot more stuff to new people.
It's true.
And we don't want to do that.
I agree.
We're getting the bare bones. We're
Yeah.
starting with the core that we already
Yeah,
have.
but
We
we're
all
doing it
speak
so
the same
long.
language. We all speak the same language. We all know what we're kind of talking about
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah, for the most part.
So if we stick to our core, that's going to be the easiest to teach the ones that are coming on board. So you're going to
Sure.
have to do a crash course with exactly your team on how you want it to go. So that's what we're coming up with is the plan for the crash course. But because then after the crash course, then we're all going to go do it on the afternoon. Is that doable for you?
What do you mean by crash course?
Okay, so whenever you get a group of people together and you're brainstorming and stuff all together, that's what you want to have a person that brainstorms, but you do not want to brainstorm with your people because they get confused. Then it causes more confusion. Then you're answering a lot of wasted questions that you've already talked about a million times. And it's too busy. It's like busy work. So if you start with your main people, you train them, which is just 5. So when we go in there, those 5 people, when we break into our little groups of 2 or 1 or whatever it is, we can show them the plan because you've showed it to us. But The plan has to be very simple, the bones that you're talking about, just the basic bones of how we're going to do it. So, and I know we're going to have a lot of things that are not going to be correct when we do it on Sunday, which is okay, but they don't need to know it. What needs to be happening is, as you're leading, and you and I, maybe I should break away too, we can just walk by and see what's working. We can talk to people, and afterwards we'll have a brainstorm where they can say, well, this wasn't working for me. Well, what if we did this? And we will get some good information, and so our next meeting after that will be even closer to being done.
I agree with all that you're saying. Another thing that I see why is to get more buy-in from some church members that they could participate with a team. Like you were saying, events create opportunity for workers to be a part of it.
Well, when we're doing this right now, that's what they're happening. But we have to have somebody that knows what they're doing first. So the core right here has to be able to teach those same people so they can buy into it. Because when we go, they will buy into it.
When you say know what they're doing first, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so yesterday when we had our first meeting, we had your friend's wife, I can't remember her name. Trima, she was like, well, I don't understand why this, that. So we spent how much time answering her one question. And
most
then,
of it was answering Veggie's question.
And then I was going to say, Meggie came up, she's like, well, why are we rebuilding the wheel again? So those are people that it's confusing to them.
Yeah.
And the more people we have on, we're trying to find a system so we don't create a situation, by answering a lot of questions. Because this ministry is so huge that we would be casting a vision every day, like all day long. Which is, there needs to be a time to cast a vision and a time to do the work part of it. It has to be two.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to learn to separate those two. So one is just, this is what it is, and if they want to know more, go to this website. We're not going to talk to them because we're going to try to onboard them, because that's when we really get them, is when we onboard them.
Well, when we're onboarding them is casting the vision too.
True, but there's a difference between casting the vision and going into detail.
Well, I think that when we're casting a vision for the workers and we're casting the vision for the people who are receiving the work, that it causes a lot of confusion for the workers and the ones.
It does. That's what we need to divide.
What do you mean by receiving the work?
Well, because the people that we're going to work with, they, like she's saying, they don't understand everything we understand, and so we can't get past them. They have to be brought up to where we're at in order to go further. Otherwise, they either give up or they're confused totally. And I like what she's saying because we have an understanding of what we're going to do and what it's going to take. And they don't need to know what we're going to do and what it's going to take.
When you say they, can we give some names of people?
The people that we're working with.
Example, you're talking about the people.
We're going to work.
Patty, Martine, and Lacey.
Yeah, the people we're going to teach.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is with this is the way I look at it is sure there's going to be people learning, but these are the workers. These are the people that are part of the team.
Yeah,
they are,
and
but
it's like
they're not.
Meggie.
You know why? Because you're coming up with a thing that we can go into the churches, and not all of them are going to follow.
It's true.
So we have something to offer every person that comes is how to study the Bible. But our goal
is big.
Our goal is big.
Different.
Yeah.
So when we're there, you're casting a vision.
But could they not, even if they don't follow us to the different locations, could they not still work with us virtually?
They
as
can,
we work on those
but
churches?
The problem is when you have a group of people coming in, you have two classes of people. People are coming specifically because you invited them on how to learn the Bible.
Yeah, mission fields and missionaries.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
so we have to divide it for those two. What do you call them, mission fields?
Mission fields and missionaries.
exactly. That's exactly perfect.
But
Okay.
I see all the people that are going to be at this test as being missionaries, not
But
mission fields.
this is our prototype.
We want all of our mission fields to become missionaries.
We
yeah,
do.
but some of them are going to run with it more than others.
Some of them
Right.
are and some are not going to.
But still, we need to take them from missionary mission field to a missionary.
But-
There's a difference between working with the Army of Youth and then youth working in their mission fields.
So what we're saying though, when we're having this meeting, it's a trial for us. It's not
Yes.
a trial for the people. It's our trial to see how to onboard people, not to onboard people, who and what. So that's what we call this is the bones. Like he was saying, these are bones. This is the outline, which is so important. But what I was seeing when we were all talking yesterday, I was seeing two types of people. But luckily we had mostly leaders in there, and those people are all going to be leaders, but it's okay. So tomorrow, before we cast the vision, what they want to know, the people that were in that room, what they were wanting to know is like, well, there were so many crazy questions. Not crazy, they're all good questions. The questions were legit questions. And those are the same questions we're going to have with every different group of people that we go and talk to. So whatever they were dealing with, we're going to deal with it at the next place.
So we got to document those questions so we can get it all done.
Well, no, we
what
change
it's
how
like?
we present so that we don't create the questions.
It's like if we go to school.
But in order to change how we present, like, I need to be clear of what the questions are.
Right.
Hold on a sec. It's like going to school and we're sitting in with our teacher, helping him to figure out how to run his class.
Yeah, but they're not the school. They're not the students. They're the teachers. They are the team who's helping,
but we're
like the school faculty.
We're practicing on them as if they are the students.
We're practicing on them as if they're the school faculty. That's how I look at it.
We're not practicing on them as if they're the students.
No, I don't
trying to figure out what students are going to be asking.
Because maybe that's
No.
okay. Let's readdress this then, because maybe we're all looking on different pages.
Yeah,
That's the
so.
problem. Because I was seeing this as these people that we're going to be talking to on Sunday
I thought that's how
eventually
we
going-
find out the information.
are eventually going to be on board, but we don't know that. We're doing it as if we're going to do an event at Calvary Chapel.
Yeah.
That's just thrown out there.
Right.
So when we get to Calvary Chapel, what do we want to walk over with? We're going to ask, how are we going to get them there, first of all? This is my cue card to get everybody there as an event planner, is how to study the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one thing we have to submit to them, how to study the Bible, which is going to be the work pages. Is that correct? Is that what you're going to use?
I will use
The binder, workbook?
Yes, the workbook binder. The workbook. I'll go through that in the event.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we have to know where it comes in at. So this is our calling card to get everybody in here.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of this is not going to make a lot of sense, Enoch, 100%, because as event planner, you are a teacher. So it's going to kind of run against your head. And mine is too. So
I want to learn. I'm a student when it comes to event
gotcha.
planning. I'm a student.
So this is what we're trying to do, is we have to have something to offer. This is what we're offering. This is our gig. This is our what to get them in here. It's
Yeah.
right here. How, and this is what we're going to offer them. We're going to show them how. So we already got that one started.
I have a question.
Sure.
It might be too early for this question though. How, if it's like, if you're inviting somebody to a church and you say, hey, there's a great church over here and they teach you how to follow God and even change your character to be like God, let's go. And they're like, well, I'm already in a church. This is my church. And it's kind of the same way. Hey, let's go over here and learn how to study the Bible. Well, I already know about the Bible and I am studying the Bible.
You would have to go to Calvary Chapel to teach this, because this is a non-threatening, non-denominational topic.
Yeah,
This
we're
isn't
teaching
all
Calvary Chapel how to study their
We're
Bibles.
teaching.
But they already know how to
No,
study.
they don't. Everybody in this church didn't even know how.
Everybody who knows, I'm not saying that they do. I know that they don't. I realize they don't.
Gotcha.
But in their heart and their mind, they already know God.
Mom,
they're already following
Mom,
Him.
we've put this in the grave before, and the thing is,
It's not in a grave.
what you're describing
It is not
is
in a grave.
not our target audience. People are rich and increased with goods, have need of nothing, and they're like, they're high and mighty of their own conceit. Like, these are not the people we're teaching.
I think they don't know how to study.
No,
I think
and that's
they
fine.
Know how.
And that's how the Jews, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, a lot of them were. But there is, I would say, majority of the people in the church want to know. They recognize they don't know how to study as they would like to, and they want to know how to study the Bible. Those are the people we're serving.
How are we
I
going
can
to
explain it.
separate them
I
from
can
the
tell you.
others?
When Enoch
They don't
came, when
respond.
he first came here, he came and he shared the message, how to study your Bible. And there was a bunch of the people who've been there for church forever, and including myself. And
I
when
don't
he
think
shared-
they would have showed up. They were just there.
They were just there. You're right.
Yeah.
They were just there. And so because they were there, they were like, no one's ever taught me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, like, your
That's
question
when they
is,
get the
why
uh-huh.
would somebody want to come to an event instead of show me how to, that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Why would, I already know how to, that's what you're asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good question, because at the end of this, we can say, do you know where such and such came from? conflict statement. A conflict statement.
If you were doing an invite on like Eventbrite that I showed you the other day, where you go and you sign up for it, and then you come to the webinar.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked.
What kind of title would you put there?
Her Zell can show you. He's gonna pull it up. Oh, you weren't there. Her Zell showed me. He flat out showed me. You know how many people are searching how to study the Bible just in Lancaster alone? Every single, it was either a month or a week or something. It was like 40,000 people just in that one location.
Yeah.
It is incredible. And then just in Lewiston alone, the people who are literally searching how to study the Bible, those exact words, it is absurd. And when you look in how to study, it's like the Bible is one of the top on YouTube and Google. People are looking for it all over the place. It is a burning question on their heart and their
Well,
mind.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I'm satisfied.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get back to the basics. What we were talking about is separating the two people's personalities when they come into the room. Every room is going to have what you call missionaries and the field people.
Yeah, mission fields.
So, mission fields. And so there's going to be two people. So we're going to have to address both of those two people.
We will.
And so we don't want to lose these field people in this part.
And I completely agree with you.
So, but we have to have this, but it has to be a small outline. Your video that you did, Modern Day Publishing, oh my goodness, that inspired this. Everybody and their brother that I've talked to yet is like, dude, where can I sign my name? I'll sign my life away because I want to serve. That is the calling card, that video.
No, I agree. It's one of the
That
reasons we created it.
Yeah, and so they, even if you showed a clip from that, or whatever you choose to do, man, whoa, that will change lives. So then it'll help these people too, and it won't get wrapped up in how we get there. Because a lot of people, when you do this, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you spend 20 minutes explaining that. They don't need to know that. They don't. They will once they
There's a rag right there.
The mission fields don't need to know that. But
they don't either right now. Not yet. They do need to know it, but they don't need it because that is the structure of your business. You don't want to do that. What you're trying to do is this, and then you want to have paperwork afterwards because there's going to be so many people that are going to say, "Can I join your thing?" Because of the vision that you're going to cast through that video. These people are going to be hitting you afterwards. They're going to be like, "Oh my goodness, where can I sign out? What can I do? I want to be a part of this ministry," because this is your job to cast the ministry. It's your job to teach this to the field people, and this is your job to cast this, but not the structure of the business.
I'm sorry.
The bones. You can't teach them the bones of your business.
I don't know. For some reason, I really disagree.
Okay.
Because, when you look at this,
Okay.
This is what ClickFunnels has. This is their value ladder. And this is a document that they give you when you just brand new. This is onboarding material.
Absolutely, I agree.
So they're showing you the path of
I
where
agree
it's
with
going. Where the mission fields and the missionaries,
I agree. No, this is what you would use.
that's a value ladder.
I know. This is what you would use, not at the meeting,
Yeah.
but when you meet with these people, because you're going to have another meeting from this. I mean, right away.
I would say that we would do that when meeting with them. And at the end of training them, we could let them know, hey, this is a path if you value. It kind of presets their mind, pre-frames the mind to be like, look, if you enjoy the training that we give you, there's more for you to learn. And
Well, we
just
want
plant
them
the
to
seed.
totally get involved 100%.
Yes.
Because they will. Because
Yes.
the worker is still, there's going to be so many workers in there that have not been plugged into their own church,
Yes.
but we're not there to still sheepies.
Right.
But what we're there to do is equip them with the Bible. Kathy, do you have your hand up?
No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
itching my
okay.
head.
And what I
So-
saw yesterday is those people were missionaries,
They are.
which is why I was sharing with them the vision.
And
I would never do that with mission fields.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, good.
Okay, because
I would never do that
with.
with mission
That's what I
fields.
was thinking too.
Well, I didn't know.
That's so
Because every single one of them, I know who they are, I know their talents, I know their interests. Crystal has said she wants to volunteer with the YouTube channel. Herzel's family, they all want to get involved with the ministry. Meji, although she had questions, she's our printer. She's going to help us tremendously with getting these books.
Okay, we're talking
done.
about two different things right now. Okay, so events. Okay,
I worked with Meji in printing for like 5 years, even though I've like never, I wasn't in the same city. She'd print stuff and ship it to me for events.
Oh no, I agree with you. I think what just happened to me from me that I needed was the clarity. You're actually talking about 2 events.
Yes.
I didn't make that connection before.
Okay, good.
I didn't either.
That's why I was,
yeah,
okay.
awesome. So we got clarity. This is awesome.
This is
so
good.
we have the event, which is actually an event. Then we have the event, which is for the missionary workers. So which one are we focusing on? Which one are you wanting to do? This one, like an event to, like if you would do it at church or wherever, or you want to do like an event for the missionaries, the people that are coming on board? Which one? Because they're both events.
Because right now our audience
This is our audience.
Yes, it's for the missionaries.
Yes. Okay.
While we are testing the frameworks, we are testing the frameworks on the missionaries. Like with Mom's analogy, if you're a teacher in a school, you have the faculty. We're using the curriculum on the faculty,
Sure.
and we're just kind of practicing together.
Well, that changes the whole picture a little bit. But it's the same concept.
Same concept.
But it's changing it because
That's
now.
why we have to begin with this
Yes.
end in mind. When we understand this, it clarifies everything of what we're doing for this event.
It does for this event, but we were under the interpretation, and I think you people in the room were under the interpretation that we were doing a trial run to figure out how we can go into the churches and do it. I think that's what they were thinking.
Which is what we want to do.
But they are 2 different things. They're totally 2 different things. It all goes up to one ministry, but they're 2 different avenues, the way you conduct the businesses.
Yes.
They're
But the thing
totally
is,
different.
what I'm doing is I'm testing the frameworks. It's the curriculum. What we're doing is not necessarily a prototype of how we would reach the churches. It is testing the material.
The outline.
Yes.
To fill in the blank.
The curriculum, the worksheets, the outline.
So let's go back and look at this again then. Thank you, Enoch.
Yes.
That makes more sense. Okay, so then with either one of these events, you still have to ask these same questions. When, where, and why. This is the bones that you have to have. You have to answer it, which will give you your big goal. That should equal it. That keeps everybody on the same page all the time. So nobody will ever be lost because this is always going back to this. So when, where, and why. And I like sometimes who.
Yeah, who is good?
Who is so...
Who's important?
Who's your audience? Because this would change the whole structure, like from here to here. So who is very...
Yeah, who's essential?
Yes, that's essential on all the different... So this is just your bones, like you said. This is your curriculum, your bones for event planning. So this is like your outline, I guess. Okay, so those are the questions. When we answer these, underneath each one of these is... You have to ask questions underneath each one of these. So on your outline, you would ask... When? When did you want to have the you would say fall, spring, or winter. Then you would brainstorm and you would say, who is my audience? Is there events going on at that time? Is there events that I can piggyback on? Or is there events that are going to get in my way? Those are questions you ask as an event planner. What's my obstacles of when? Is it cold, rainy, people out of town, people in town? So you have to know, you have to ask yourself a bunch of questions on events.
I'm glad you're thinking of those questions, isn't it?
Those are important when you're an event planner.
Absolutely.
And then where you're going to have it. Is there something blocking where you're going to have it? Do you have parking? Do you not have parking? Do you have the facility to hold them? Did you go through the county? Do you have, if you have so many people, you have to go through the county because so many people in a building, you're only allowed so many people in a building. It's an outdoor-indoor event. So you have all of that. Where can you hold it? With the people that you're having. Are you expecting a small group, small building? A lot of people, have to have a big one. What permits are needed? And where, also, whenever you have some people like that, you have to serve them food or bring your own lunch. You have to know that you have the right facility to allow food to be there at that facility. And do you have a food manager who can touch the food, such as myself? I can touch food because I'm licensed for this state, which I can transfer to any state. So, whenever you serve food, you have to have a licensed manager for food, which if you're doing a 3-day event, you would definitely want to have to deal with food because Jesus dealt with food. It's just what he dealt with. So you have to make sure you have the warehouse, make sure that there's a kitchen or a facility or how you're going to get the food or what's coming in. Why? Why are you doing this event? Why? Is it to build a ministry, to build finances, to What is the purpose? Is it, and who is your target? This is pretty small. Why? But who? Who is your target audience? Is it children, adults, brokenhearted? You have to name those people. You have to actually make a list of these people, of who you're targeting, and then you have to address how you're going to hit each one of those persons. How are you going to reach that person's, let's see. I'll do who right here. Who. So, you have to do if it's kids or adults.
What about new Christians?
Huh? New Christians?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to figure out who your audience is, and then you have to address how how you're going to reach them.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah. How you're going to reach them, and what do you want them to walk away with? What do you want them to walk away with? Will they come back? Will we meet again? When? Where? There's lots of whens, wheres. It's kind of a, each one of these you should be able to fill in with questions and answers. Because if you do an event like we talked about before, so you do an event. So you leave them high and dry. Now what'd you do? You've done more damage than good.
Book an appointment with an appointment.
Yeah, unfortunately. But that's a good thing for us because that's this type of ministry. We want to
That's
have
what we want.
continue.
Yeah.
So what are we doing to, what is our, there's another word, what is the word instead of a gig? What is your calling card? What's the word you guys use? What is your bread that keeps bringing them back? What is it? We know that's Jesus, of course.
What's the hook?
The hook! The hook.
Yeah, we use a hook.
We use a
She
hook.
needs a lingo book.
We're fishers of men.
Thank you. I'll use everything around fishermen and men. Thank you, brother. So we have a hook. So what is our hook to get them to come back? And why would they want to come back? And did we follow through with them? It's so important because if we don't do that, we're
they
wasting
got
time.
it too.
Yeah. So we would be wasting our time. If we can't answer these, then don't do the event. If you can't answer those. And if we can't follow through, then we're defeating our purpose.
When you say come back,
That's a hook.
You mean come back to, like, in a 3-day event for day 2, day 3, or do you mean like after the 3-day event
Any
is
person
over,
that we get a
engaged?
name or a number from, the onboarders have got to have a
So
team.
following up with them
Yep.
basically ascending the value ladder.
Everything, yes. We want to offer them product. We want to offer them our
Volunteer
next events. We
opportunity,
want
next
everything.
events. Okay,
That's what the onboarding is so
Okay.
about. It is
Okay.
so important that be developed. Every stage of this whole ministry is very important. Like you said, it's a department. And that's why it has to be up and running healthy. Before we can do events, we have to be very healthy in this department. We have to make sure our team is very good at loving people and enjoying people, that they can reach out. Because a lot of times they'll tell us. We don't even have to tell them. We just have leading questions that automatically makes their mind tell us everything just by one question. And so we don't have to work really hard at this, but we have to follow through. It has to be people that love people. So anyway, that is your bones.
So, and we're both under the understanding that what we're doing Saturday afternoon is like a
Now
trial
we do.
one.
Now we do. We know that it's a missionary one. So
Yes.
now we've answered who. It's missionary. This is not an event for churches. This is just an event.
Right. But we are doing it in a way where there's going to be some things that we do with the missionaries that are more. We're going to be we're practicing the training on them, trying to get their feedback to see where they're getting stuck, so we can modify our training, and with the vision that we're going to be taking pieces from this event and duplicating them in churches or non-threatening locations in like a community center or something, so it's not like bringing them to a church.
Okay, this brings me up because I was in bed last night and I was like, okay, we got two visions going on here. So this is another question that has to be answered,
Okay.
which separates the difference between the field and the missionary again. The field missionaries and the missionaries, or whatever you call it.
The mission field.
Mission field. Mission field. And so,
There you go.
okay. So I laid in bed and I thought, okay, I'm not getting the picture myself here. So we got to not rehash, because I don't want to rehash. So when they come to this, everything that we're doing, I would think, to do with these people that are going to be there tomorrow is not necessarily going to be the same people that you go to all these churches at. Or are you wanting to cast a vision to one person and for you want them to go duplicate this whole thing themselves? Or are you going to be the one that goes to these event places and cast the vision?
Yes.
That's the question. Because if we don't have that answer, that's going to, because it changes the whole direction again. Because you're going to train me and I'm going to go and do events all over the country with the Army of Youth. And then she's going to go to a different whole group of people and she's going to start doing the same thing that you're going to be doing this Sunday. Is that what you're planning?
Can we go upstairs and I can show you some of the
Yes.
people that'll be. So we're asking this who is going to attend this event that we're doing Sabbath afternoon? This prototype event. Who? Let's go look at that. I created a who do you know list. Is what I call it too.
I need to fill this up.
Find out.
You doing that?
These are the people that I have marked out that I want to attend. So when you look at it, oh cool. So when you look at this, these are people that they have the ability to be.
Okay, I think I've got to understand what you're saying, but I think I'm not saying it clearly where I'm making it make sense on my end. So when we went down there to the events, this specific event that we are saying right now that we're going to do is not the one we're going to be casting at every church. This is the one we are casting personally because we are bringing on board workers, which will also be the same one that we cast the second time when we go to a church and we cast a vision and we give them how to study the Bible, and all these people sign up at the end of the day and say, oh, I want to know more about this ministry, and how do I, those are the same people that we need to do follow back up with and do another event where they can come to an event where they can learn the ministry and they can see the vision and everything cast out. You're talking two different things. Because those people, now you have a targeted audience. Those are all on the same page. We're all came for the same thing. We're all going to walk away with all the information that we need to know. All of us. And you only have to say one time. You can do them,
You should hit them while the iron's hot.
I would say once every 3 months. Quarterly. I know that sounds horrible, but you really do need to do it quarterly.
It does sound horrible, but especially in the beginning, is like gaining momentum or something.
No. It's mainly you're really a speaker, but the Lord has helped you put as everything else is starting to come together. And I was thinking last night, the Lord, thank you that He doesn't move forward as fast as you and I would probably like to move forward, but He's doing the most important part with the happens with the business. You have got to move slowly and establish the paperwork, the loans of the system. Look at all these calls, and now you've lost them there, and you really have really hurt a lot. So He's moved slow enough, and before we really go forward, you got to make sure that we have goals departments running well.
Okay, we can probably go back down. That reminds me of an analogy that we've shared before. I don't think you were here for that analogy, but what we're basically wanting to do is, here you go. Someone explained, like when you're building a house, you've got the structure, you've got everything in. Let's say you're piping the house. So the systems are the pipes, and what you do is you fit the pipes together, and you just run the lines all throughout the house. And what we're basically doing is we're testing. So we open the valve a little bit with traffic to see if there's any leaks.
Leaks.
And then if there's some minor leaks, we'll shut it off real quick and we'll go and fix it, rather than just flooding it with all the traffic and growth and all the eyeballs and everybody, boom, and then it just destroys the house.
So are we saying we're going to use this town as our training ground? This town?
We're definitely using this event as our training
Well, this
ground.
one that you're doing right now is this one. This because everybody there is potential workers.
Yes.
So this one is a total different vision than what you should be doing when you go to a church. And
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm
This
not
one's mine.
casting the same vision.
Oh, okay, good.
To a church,
That's where we were getting.
the way that I look at it is I adapt my message according to my audience.
Gotcha.
And my audience is missionaries and workers, so I'm casting them a vision
Sure.
of what this could be. But to a church, I'm going to be talking about how this training is going to benefit their church and their people so that they can
Yes.
use their talent and to be more equipped as missionaries, bringing people together. And so that's a different vision for communication to them.
Okay, so when you're saying about this house thing, tomorrow, this is what we're going to be doing, trying to figure out if all of our piping has leaks or doesn't have leaks.
Yes!
Okay, and so we want them to go through our system,
Yes.
such as when we told her / enlist.
Yeah.
That is part of the process. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
needs
you're
to
right.
go- every
It is.
one of them needs to go through this, so the onboarders can learn that they're doing their job.
Uh-huh.
The content marketers, we know they're doing their job because content is getting out there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Our goal is 100 pieces of content a day, and we're doing 34 a week. So we're
behind.
we're behind.
But it's working.
Yeah, they're
It's
learning and they're growing,
yes.
and
That's a
it's
good thing.
fluctuating.
And then the page looks amazing. So Conroe,
The
whatever
website,
you
yeah, it looks great.
do. How's your sugar? Are you good? You been up all night, or is your sugar good?
I haven't been sleeping in all 50 days.
Oh no.
Well, not enough sleep.
Not enough sleep. Okay, gotcha. I think a couple times I saw you online. Because I'm up at night. I don't know why, but I am. Okay, so let's make them go through the whole system so we can see where we're struggling, even more so. You know, it'll actually help all of us, everybody on the team, to see where we're at. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
So,
and I agree with what you're saying. Another way that I see this is another like why of this event is that in order to reach these churches and events with the workbook and slides and things, are like a program that is ready to actually be like, hey, let's go to an event, people we don't really know, and let's do an event for them. To get to that point, I see that there are some things that would be good to have, and the more team we have who can help build those things, the faster we'll get there.
I agree. And so, are you saying that
Some of the team will come from these events,
yes, more yes?
but they won't see the vision or desire to use their talents to further this vision unless they are personally benefited by the curriculum we're
Right.
teaching.
So would you say it's fair to say you go to the thing, you do this basic thing, you're reaching the 2 people at the meeting, and then as you get the numbers, I mean, whatever you choose, your curriculum or whatever you do for your hook, that we follow through, and these people that are coming on this part, the ones that are in ministry and missions, that we invite them to actually, we're going to invite everybody to go through the funnel. You know what I'm talking about? To go through. We want everybody to go through the website, no matter what. We're going to encourage that through the whole thing, you know, in a roundabout way, without threatening the pastors, because it's just a funnel as far as they know. Well, it is just, that's what it is. It's not that just as they know, but that's what it is. So then these same people that express interest when they go and do, a lot of people won't go, but a lot of people that do, this is the people that we're going to get to go to our quarterly conventions, where we really graft them in, where we can actually get them. I don't know if we want to what you are seeing, because you have an idea how you want that to go. Is it to join the program, to do the step ladder? This is probably where you're probably going to cast the vision, not the basic vision, but cast the vision,
overall
the steps, the everything,
vision.
how everything's set up, how. And we need to work on that, because I think there's some of it's too much information for the first on-time order.
Yeah,
I
no, I
think we
agree.
can-
We need to work on it. It's prominent on my mind too.
Yeah, so they get the basic picture. I think if we go back to your video that you did, we need to go through that one video and then I wish I would have the terminology, bullets from that, so we can actually,
Key takeaways.
yeah, because those are the ones that really causes people to say, I want to be involved.
And I'd love to re-record it too in little short sections.
Well, even however you choose to do it, but I just know that if we use that, because that is it's anointed too. I mean, whatever it is, it just came together spiritually too. I mean, it really feels like it's from the Lord. It feels anointed. And so if we just took the key points and actually wrote them, we can write our event that you are going to do with these people. We can have the curriculum written from that video. The curriculum should come from that video. The basic topics, because that's the calling card that we could use to really get them on board, because of, I'm telling you, it's,
Makes people like psychologically unemployable.
yeah, so you're getting the visual with the people, and you're getting the written and the audio, you're getting it all.
And then at the end, it's just kind of like, hey, this is the potential and possibility.
Yep.
How would you like? How would you
that?
like your talents to be used in making that happen
Yes.
even further?
And then that's when you could even at the same time on the video or wherever they can say, these are our 5 departments. And do you know which department you're good at? Well, that's one of the things that when we do the curriculum, we can break them into categories. And I can tell you, but I used to write curriculum. So if you need help with curriculum, that's where I excel, because that's what event planners do. It is a curriculum, believe it or not.
It is. The whole event is.
Yeah, it is. And so when you break them into departments, you can say, okay, if you think your audio, come to this side, and they have a whole workstation. And then you can have like Comron. It's like, okay, this is what we do. And he can have his
Yeah,
basic
I would love
show.
to do something like that.
Oh my goodness, how do we do this? This is great. And then they should do it twice that day. So people know what they're good at, then they can say also, it's like, wow, I was really interested. I saw that. I'd really like to know about that.
Yeah, if we had 4 sections, audio, video, photos, and written,
Yes.
and just the different people who are gifted in the ministry and
Yes.
that, and they just explain like, hey, this is what we're doing, maybe we could. But one thing that is prominent on my mind is trying to help develop leaders who can teach, who feel comfortable doing that, because I know Conran at this point
Well,
would
if
not
you
feel
have
comfortable doing
him
that yet.
here, he will. God will help him, because man,
Oh, I
he's
believe
already-
it.
So when he does it, he can have the computer. He should have a computer set up so he can show them what they do. But the people, the little workbook will have different things, like the different things that he does in there, and say, and what we could do is when you're ready for the curriculum, I would like to help with it, because what we need to ask them is in the sections of the different curriculum is like he probably has 5 different things he does into that field that he works in.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe even more. So we would have subheadings like this, and we would tell them, listen, not all these are going to apply to you. So as we're going through them, as he's demonstrating this, I want you to put just a check mark on an area that you think is really interesting.
It's like an open house.
Yeah, like an open house. Because that's where we're going to get our focal point. Because it's all about leads. You know, for ministry, for the working side, that's the leads. The other part, we're feeding the people. But now we have the leads. We're making disciples of all men.
You're doing both. You're doing the teaching and discipling.
Right. So then you might even get people that thought they were just coming to learn the Bible saying,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll get a lot, because when they come to learn the Bible and they experience a transformation, it's a natural response to want to share that with others, and they're going to be like, how do I share this with the people I care about? Well, let me show you the opportunities you can get plugged in.
Right. But I think this one should be for the seminar. This one for the seminar, the 3-month seminar. This one I'm talking about. Like we're
No, I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so
Yeah.
and then they're going to do administration.
So when they're doing the Bible study and they're like, how can I be a part? Then it's like, go check out our quarterly event.
Yeah, and we want you to get involved. And we're going to, the onboarders, that's our job to really, it's like, oh, well, it's coming up. Have you registered? Have you blah, blah, blah? Oh, it's, that's our job. So, but anyways, and the event planner like me and your mom. So anyways.
We got to think about how we can coordinate that with our virtual team too, so that they could be just as present during that event.
Right. Now,
Whether
when
that's
we do
in-person or
one
online.
of those, our key people are going to have to be at the event, because they understand the system, they understand what they do. Whoever's in a department head has got to be there for the first one until we can get new people on board, and we can have somebody start teaching that. Like you said, maybe somebody decides they don't want to work in a department no more, you know what I'm talking about, or they're starting their own ministry. Who knows?
Do you want water or
I'm
something?
good. So if they're starting their own ministry, which is great, that's what you're all about. So those people that are watching right here the first time, you should get, we want to target at least 10 people in this one group, 10 at least, in this one group. And you're going to have one leader out of there. There always is one leader. So
Yeah.
there might even be 3 leaders.
That's true.
So we're okay with that. But the first couple ones, we're going to have leaders. We're just going to have the head of the departments, because they know what they're talking about. So we just need to encourage them. We will go through a crash course, and I'll show them.
But that's
how
what
to
I'm saying.
teach.
Like 3 times a month seems kind of hard for them to fly over here for an
Well,
event. I mean, 3 times a
If
year.
we even do with one, that would be fine to start with. But we do need them because how are you going to have people teach something that they
No,
don't
I
need?
agree. The more that they're here, the
And
better.
it's good for them. They'll enjoy coming. Why
No,
wouldn't
they would
love
absolutely
it.
enjoy.
They would
Yeah.
love it. And so let's do a crash course when it comes time, and we'll do an event for our teachers.
But there's also like the possibility, like we can put up a screen at a station
Oh yeah.
and have them be on Zoom, and they can walk people through sharing their screen and interacting and talking. Just have a microphone
To
there.
have a virtual.
And- yeah, virtual.
Sure.
So it kind of looks like there's a person
awesome.
standing there.
Oh, awesome.
There's possibilities.
So if we can't do an event out in public, that's the 360. I mean, that's the
yeah, it's similar to
virtual.
E360.
It's
The
the
pivot.
virtual.
But I just see that like as we blend some of the stuff together, there's possibilities, and the in-person is always the best and the interactive.
Well,
but
and two, it's easier to get a contact than if somebody just tunes in. We could lose a contact.
yeah, it's true.
We don't want to lose a contact. We want
don't.
we want that opportunity to actually get all those people that are watching that video. We don't
Yeah.
want to miss one.
Right.
So you might have a funnel to keep them from.
That's why funnels are great because we can get their contact before they watch the video.
Perfect. So, yes, and then that's what the onboarding can do is call those people and say, hey, what'd you think? And so that is becoming more of what you're looking at in the long run because you want this to be where we don't have to go and do events. But I think we're going to have to do a couple events at first.
Well, no, I think events we'll be able to do just indefinitely because events will change people's lives.
Okay.
It just that's part of the value ladder. It's like towards the top. Events will be transforming. It's just like the way I look at it is not one or the other. It's just let's do it to where we're doing all of them.
Okay.
So we got the course, the online, the digital, and the physical events.
Okay. Okay. So this one, what you and I need to do is when it comes to where you need to write, what has to happen before our event this week, what has to happen is we have to have the curriculum written. I can help with that. You and I would have to sit and it won't take long. I can help with the curriculum pretty fast, actually. It's not as hard as it looks. But it would just take to sit down what you want to teach so we can make our headings, we can make our, and if we're going to break into little groups, what we want them to brainstorm about, what answers they found, and how they think it would work better. And what do they think?
That's what I wanted to do in this conversation.
Oh, that's what you want to do in this one. Okay, sorry.
But no, it's
This
not a
needed to
problem.
happen.
This needed to be happening.
Okay, because it helps me.
Yes,
Nothing else.
no, it helps all of us. That's what we got to do.
Okay, so we could probably do this one really fast. So let's just go through it real quick. It'll only take a few minutes. You
The
got it?
curriculum?
Yeah, this one right here. It doesn't take long. We have 5 people right now that I know of.
Kathy, are you able to grab your binder? The Bible binder?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Right where it's at.
So we have basically 5 key people right now that are going to be there at the event. That means this week. So what we wanted to do was we are developing leaders. So what do we want to? How do we want these leaders? How do we want? Okay, let's do with the curriculum first of all. But before we can answer the curriculum, is what do we want these people to leave away with? What do you want him and his wife to leave away with? What do you want?
As far as the
Veggie to
event
leave?
goes,
Yes, this one that we're going to be. We've asked everybody to attend.
I want
Veggie and everything.
I want people to leave away. Are you talking about just next Sabbath,
Yes,
or
next Sabbath
the
only.
whole
Nope.
the series?
Nope, just this one because you said you had a targeted audience on this one.
Well, this is weekly recurring.
Okay. So these are leader. So if you're breaking them down, so you're not saying that. So in other words, these are not necessarily leaders, right? They're people in the church because you said you're doing it every week, right? So if we get 10 new people in the church, they're not going to necessarily be leaders because you don't know that yet. So if I invite 2 of my neighbors, and I said, hey, this week I'm not going to invite anybody this week because I thought it was going to be for leaders only. I thought, man, I don't want my neighbors being confused, so I don't want to bring them to it.
Yeah, we as far as the weekly ones, we want to have people who don't mind if there's. Thank you. Can you put it behind the computer there?
These should be people that already know the Lord that we're going to be working on because it could confuse people that are for new
exactly.
believers.
People who are patient, who will understand,
Who want to? This is the key. Who wants to understand the Bible?
and who are okay with us practicing. We're testing the framework every week.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we're doing this is because we're testing the framework.
Okay.
And when I say framework, let me explain to you
Okay.
what is going on. We have, so in the directionfromgod.com, we have the student login. So when they log in, oh cool. So they log in, here's the online course. We have livecast replays and archives. So these are the main things. So we started in December, January, February, March, April, May. So we got, well, that's six. We got six months of curriculum or training that I want to use in like 3 days or so in a 3-day event.
Okay.
And so what's going on, and every month I went live for 90 minutes, but like the last half an hour was asking question and answers.
Yes.
So it's about an hour-ish. And I taught essentially 4 teaching points.
Okay.
Every one of those is 4 teaching points. And these things, and that's what's represented here. This is kind of a, perfect, thank you. This is kind of like the binder, but I realized that we don't actually have them ready.
And will these are the ones we're going to have copied that we're giving to Meggie?
Similar,
No.
yes. Yes, they are. But I realized that especially the first 3 months, we didn't have worksheets. We started worksheets in February,
Okay.
or after February, I think.
So we need ones for the first ones, first videos.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So you
And-
have your basic outlines.
Yes, but
Right,
here's what it
right.
is. So these are the summaries for the first lesson. This is December, and this is what I want to do for the first time here. But as I was going over it last night, I realized that things are a little. Number one, I encourage people to study what's relevant. That's the main teaching point. Just get used to that. And then we have a worksheet that looks similar to this. That basically helps them to identify what is relevant. Let's list out 10 things that are relevant in our experience.
Where does it say what's relevant? Do they know that?
It's not.
Okay.
Well, this is a personal curriculum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like what do you want to learn more about the Bible?
What is
there
relevant right here?
Yeah, what is relevant? So that's what that step is. So it'll be like a worksheet where you do that. Here's a teaching point. I'll explain a few concepts, and then we'll all fill this out together. We'll
okay.
share some things with a partner, and then we'll call out some things as a class.
Sounds good. Wow.
And so that's what we're doing. And then
Okay,
number
awesome.
2, so the vision
Wow,
is
okay.
that each time
Mhm.
we have a teaching point and a worksheet. Or a teaching point worksheet, teaching point worksheet, teaching point worksheet,
Perfect.
teaching point
Wow,
exercise
this is
with a
awesome.
workbook.
Okay.
So that's the goal.
Okay.
And this is going to be the online course. What I was doing is every single month, I was going live once a month for the purpose, beginning with the end in mind. I want to have a course that's step by step, that we know that's proven, that it's worked, that helps people get from A to Z, from where they are to where they want to be, and basically creating a personal encyclopedia of all the notes that they've studied and be able to access them in a way that they can share with others. So that was like the ultimate goal of the Direction from God. And so for the last 6 months we were creating the course and the seminar curriculum, same thing, 1 month at a time.
That
And
sounds
then
good.
4 teaching points at a time.
That's good.
So this was a 90-minute presentation with Q&A. What on the course, this is going to be like a 10-minute video, 15-minute video, 10-minute, 20-minute video. It's going to be something like that on the course.
Mhm. That makes sense.
So that's how it's lined up.
Okay. And so is this what? So this is the direction from God. Now
Yes.
this is going to be only when they come on to this. This is not the curriculum that you're going to be using at the church for this. What is this part for? This one's for only on here when they come to sign up to be part of it?
No, the reason why we are doing this event is to test.
To
These
test
are the
this.
frameworks. This
Okay,
is the framework.
This is so you're
Step 1, 2,
so
3, 4.
this event is going to be testing the bones
Yes.
for the curriculum for the Army of not Army of Youth, but for directions from God. Is that
Yes,
correct?
the
Did I
Direction
say
from
right?
God. Yes, you did it
Okay.
good. That was all
Okay,
good.
so that makes a whole nother picture for me.
Oh, it does?
It does,
Oh, okay.
actually. It does.
Well, I'm glad we were pulling
Okay,
this out.
so this is awesome. So you're testing the curriculum for the onboarders, basically when they become part of the ministry of not walking with God, but directions from God. Yes. Okay. Now I got it. So now I'm better.
So
Okay.
I want you to understand that
So this is just a bones one.
everything that we're doing this whole year is based on the direction from God. And
And that is the subtitle from underneath, and that's how I have to do it in my head. So you have Army of Youth, and then the subtitle would be
yeah, the direction from God.
From God.
That'd be one of
And
them.
then used to, I thought there were two ministries, and I'm thinking,
No.
oh, it was so confusing.
No, same thing. So, like higher level, let's say we have our Army of Youth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just went over this together
Yes.
last
and
week.
I think that's what helped me to understand it.
But we have the direction from God,
From God.
which is just like our vision is to help every young person identify their unique talents dedicated to Lord's service. The first great lesson of education is to know and understand the will of God. If you don't know how to study, knowing how to study the Word of God will help you to discover your talents. It's part of the process. It's not the full thing.
Okay.
Because when you study what is relevant, if you have a problem, you have an issue or a challenge in your life or a defect, or you're dealing with the way you were raised or different things, and the Word of God is helping you to overcome these, I believe people's talents are discovered partially by their experience of what they've gone through. So their experience with God and what God has helped them to overcome gives them insight as to what is their calling.
Wow.
What is
That
their
is
calling in
amazing,
life?
Isn't it?
So
Whoa.
once they understand how to study the Bible, they're understanding their calling. The next thing, it might be next year and it might be the year following, but we have live your calling. Now that is another topic that's similar like this, but the account book.
Steps too.
Well, it's
It's just a different.
this is like the goal setting. This is like turning your calling into a reality. This is like learning how to, just spiritual
Implement
gifts,
it.
discovery, implementing, and
So
your
my
ministry.
question to you is, I agree with that 100%. So this year, this is what your focal point is that. So the next year it'll be that one. So my question is, when you have people coming on next year, they're still going to be needing the first curriculum, which
Yeah.
is the DFG.
Yeah, so this is like step one.
Okay, so
And it'll all be put into systems, and that's what we're doing the whole
okay,
thing
so
for.
this is step one, step two.
So I'll say this too. This is like once they know their calling and everything, business evangelism, which this is further down the line.
That's fine.
But this is like, as you are living your calling, how can you be a self-supporting missionary? How can you use your business as a vehicle for spreading the gospel, so that you are engaged in the service of God, you're supporting yourself, you're supporting your calling, and how you're doing that. So this is like Christian entrepreneurship.
Okay.
But this is like long-term. That might be like 3-4 years or something, I don't know. But the Army of Youth I see is kind of like comprised of that. This is big picture vision.
Yeah.
And we just have to start. We start here and focus, and we'll get more done here,
Right.
and then move on to the next. But that's the bigger picture,
Okay.
if that makes
And we're
sense.
It makes
learning.
total sense. 100%.
Okay, cool. So what this is a framework.
Yeah, that's true.
This is an overview, a huge overview.
Of the word, yeah.
The framework of the Army of Youth of how we have to contribute to this world. And in order to build this framework, we are focusing here. And so we're building this out for the year 2020. We're trying to develop this. And all of
For
this...
that one DFG.
Yes.
Wow.
For the
And
one
then-
DFG.
yeah, okay.
And this is the program we started here because it's monthly.
Mm-hmm.
We are taking the first 5 months of this program, transcribing it, turning it into a book that we're going to give away for free to anyone who's like, hey, I want a book. So it's going to be this, same information, and then the course is like I just described to you. It's a 10-minute video and an assignment. 10-minute video and assignment. It's taking them through the same experience. The monthly is like ongoing mastery. It's like live question and answer with thousands of people, and people are able to tune in every month, and they can subscribe and just get ongoing training for this topic. Whatever their problem is, we're listening to them. And the events is basically taking this online course and making it a live in-person experience.
Yeah,
And the event is a 3-day seminar.
I agree. Okay. Wow. So,
So this is why I always tell people, like, this is like where we start
Yeah.
and everything.
but I will
works.
tell you, we'll have to change it so it makes sense to them, because it's because. Remember how long it's taken you to take me to say, okay, this is what a drip position is. They won't even know what drip position is.
Yeah, I know they won't.
That's because they don't speak our lingo.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. So
That's part of the
anybody that
onboarding.
comes on new at the first meeting, you know, where it has
Yeah, the
both these
first
people
one.
in, they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. That would lose them. But that would be once they come on, then we would be like this, like you said.
And it's
And that
like-
helps right there. What you did right there really
Well,
changed. If that was on a page for me, that, and then it broke it down, I could probably see it a different way.
Yes.
Because that changes everything for me. It's like,
It does.
okay.
And there's
I'm-
a lot of learning in between when you first met us and we were explaining this, and now you learned a lot, and they're gonna learn little by little too.
But I want to say too, like with this drip system, this is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, this podcast stuff.
Yep.
This, I'm testing the framework. Every month I'm going live here, but I'm testing it on daily live videos. That's
Okay.
basically what this is. On the daily live videos, I am practicing testing micro steps of the curriculum of here,
Gotcha.
seeing what works, and this allows me to produce 100 pieces of content on different things and let our audience vote on what really resonates with them. So when we find winners, then we put it in the program, and then as we're testing further, then we find out what works, and we put it in the course. And when we find out what works, we do the event. And the event, we're testing frameworks too, but this one's like a major test when we're doing with the churches. It's going to be more, that way we're not just giving them testing, we're giving them what we know works. We're not guessing.
Right, we're not guessing. Okay, gotcha. That clears a lot for me.
Good. And,
Okay.
and what I want to explain real quick is the benefit of explaining this over and over is that I find that, so you've had challenges, some, like, you understand the vision, but you're getting more and more clarity on it. I might have a tendency to, like, just pile too much, and I am learning ways to condense and who needs what and when. And one thing, by having our, like, pioneer sessions in the morning, the first time I ever explained it was here, because Cameron was like, how to study the Bible, finding their talents, how does this fit in the Army of Youth, how does it make sense? So I wrote this up there. But the thing is, the more that I cast a vision, more I teach it, the more concisely I can distill that for people.
Gotcha.
And once we realize what works, like, that could be a good thing to explain for onboarding.
That is, wow, that changes, it makes me understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, this is the big picture.
And that's what I want. And the reason
Love
why I'm such a why guy and want to talk about the vision is because when you understand why we're doing it, how gets more clear. Like for you, the event changes drastically the more clear you are on the picture, on the vision. And I realized when you said why that's really small, but in my mind, I see this is one of the most clear things that we need to be clear on, because if we're the more clear we are on the vision.
Yeah, I didn't have much on the why, did I?
No, you didn't. No, you literally said this is really small and then moved on. But as leaders, we have to be vision casters, because the more clear the most amount of people are on the why, the more they know, the more they'll care. And this clarifies what.
Why? Now it tells me why. Let me tell you, so
Okay.
I can feel good.
Okay.
So, this is when, and then this is where, and this is why. Why is because they need to be able to grow in their ministry, and we have steps to help them reach their goals of reaching the lost, and we have a program that we offer, and it is called DFG.
Yes.
And so we want you to know that you're not alone,
Yeah.
and by looking into this course, you are going to have the tools that you never received since you got saved on how to reach your world for Christ.
Yeah.
There you go. Was that simple?
Yeah, that's good.
Did I do good?
You did really good.
That's good.
Yes.
Did I? Yeah.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
No, thank you, because I didn't even catch that. I didn't get the why. Thank you. That's.
It makes such a difference.
I'm telling you. Now it's like I've always.
That way,
been
when
like,
we're talking, you know that we're in DFG or Army of Youth.
yeah,
Well,
and
it's
I
all the
know
same
it.
thing. You see where DFG is in the Army of
In the
Youth.
Army,
Right.
yeah. And I unfortunately, I'm like one of those people that they say it's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. I compartmentalize everything, and everything has to have its little.
I compartmentalize too, but I just try to like zoom out to see the picture.
Yeah.
But I think in how things compartmentalize.
I do that too, a little bit. I mean, I do both, but so going back to what we were talking about is so this one when we go there, it's on Sunday. I mean Sabbath. Not Sunday, Saturday. So you're going to test out these.
Yeah.
This is your bones, and you're going to test out these with it. So will you show a clip of video of this?
No, I'm
No.
going to do it live.
You're gonna do
I'm
it
going to do it
live.
live with
Okay,
my slides.
Awesome. And then you're going to do your slides, and then these are going to be kind of not, like you said, you don't have any for, was it February or January? I
For
don't
the
know.
first 3
Right, for the
months.
first 3 months, you don't have any, but it will be set up exactly like these that you already have done, basically.
Yeah.
But maybe condensed because that's a lot of information to go over. And what time frame are we looking that we want to
Every
start
week?
and end that day? On that,
Oh, the day.
On that date specifically. What is our time for start and quit? We said it start at 3, so we have to be done by 5, 5:30?
Oh, sure.
No, we have to
I
decide.
don't know.
Well, people will be, they just ate.
We thought about going for a walk before.
We definitely need to do that.
That would really help people.
You know, that might be better
Um,
if we do it in the middle or something.
Middle of what?
It'll wake people up. And,
Well, actually, you need to, after they eat, they have to go for, well,
If they go for a walk, we'll probably lose some people too.
yeah.
Well,
And we don't want to do that. So
that's why if we're there
let's
for
go ahead and get
at
them
least
started.
an hour
Okay,
or something.
so we'll
and then
start,
walk.
and then let's be done by 5:30. That gives us 2 full hours. So that's plenty long because people
That's
are
way
tired.
plenty long, yep.
Do you think it's too long? Because the
What do you
30
think,
minutes
Kathy?
will be
yeah,
for.
I think it's too long.
Think it's too long.
I
Let's
don't
go.
think they're going to hang in till 5:30.
Okay, so
I think they will since I ate already. It's interesting.
It is super interesting,
Yeah.
and it depends on how engaging it is. Because it's not going to be a sermon, it's
Okay.
not a
no
presentation.
longer than 2
4:30,
hours.
An hour and a...
No longer. Let's say no longer than 2 hours. How's that? We have to have a deadline to cut off. So no longer than 2 hours. So the 30 minutes in there is just take a break. People can talk for a minute, ask a question, and then we get back into the.
I'll
Nope.
say,
Nope.
with this, we should just like set a time, test it, and reevaluate, and just see
Yeah.
how it works with people.
Okay, so
Some of it's
don't take a
just
break in the
guesswork.
middle.
No. I'm just saying like we can do whatever. I'm okay with whatever.
Uh-huh.
I just realize that we don't know until we do it.
Oh,
And
okay.
once we do it a few
Well-
times, we could see.
But yes, and so we're going to do our basic outline so we can see what works and doesn't
Yes.
work. So, but we'll have to start.
But
with
what
something.
about when we're inviting people out? What do we say how long it is?
Well, that's it right there.
Better
We
off
can
to
just.
tell them when it starts.
Yeah, tell them when it starts. Don't tell them when it ends.
Starts at
Don't tell
3,
them
and
when
then,
it ends.
but we do, out of courtesy, we have to stick within a schedule.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if not, we will lose people.
Yep.
So we will say no longer than 2 hours. So I put the 30 minutes in there in case we need to stretch, and that's a good time for people to ask their questions.
Part of the program, what I want to do
Mhm.
is what I've been learning about events and how they're structured
Mhm.
is after you go through a teaching point, imagine if I explain a few concepts for like 5 minutes,
Mhm.
8 minutes on studying what is relevant, get that explaining, and then we're going through and we're writing down and we're actually applying what we learned, we're making a list.
Mhm.
Then what we could do is, I've seen people, they like, some people, there's just different options we have. People can stand up and we can walk around and talk, get with a partner, and some people, they walk around the room and they'll talk with each other and discuss what are the things that they've learned and then sit. There's others where they are able to, where they learn and then they stand up and they switch partners. They move and then they go sit down with someone else, say, hey, good to meet you, and these are some of the things that I've learned, and this is what helped me. But getting people to stand up frequently.
They get that, so that's the key you're saying. Is
That's what I'm saying.
That's your exercise.
Yes.
Getting people to pick up and move to the next.
And that's one of the way that you can retain them. Because like I attended an event that was like, I've attended like 2 or 3 since then, that are like 6 hours long, like all day events.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just, I've attended events where just like people, speaker after speaker after speaker, and it's intense.
That's horrible.
But I've attended events where people are extremely engaging. They're like, stand up,
Right.
we're going to walk around. And it's really interactive. It's a conversation.
There's 2 things that I've seen that's successful, in my opinion. They usually break for lunch or snacks, which
Yes.
that people need sugar, unfortunately. Or not, you know what I'm talking about,
Right.
blood. Some people do. The other one
Lunches are
is,
good.
have you, I don't know that they've done this, but it works. It's really cool. Is if when you start your presentation, a lot of times on different ones, is a different
Mm-hmm.
avenue, and I don't know if you've thought about this, but if you ask them, first of all, if you're teaching on topic, and I think you do that, Enoch, study what is relevant. When you ask people, okay, on your notes, like, I want you to write down, what you feel is relevant, like when you study, or however, you already know your curriculum, I don't. So anyway, so when they ask that, I want you to write it down. Now their mind is engaged. You
Yes.
just engaged them. And now you're going to say, okay, well, I don't know if this is when you'd show your video or you'd show your slide clips, and it's like, well, let me show you how we've been doing it at the Army of Youth, and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
so then they have that, they've already engaged, now they're engaged again. I think it's really a win-win. You know, there's different techniques, you know that. So I think I got that from him anyway. But anyways, that's great. And then, so like you said, if we had, what would be fun is in the middle of it, if we could come up with some kind of activity instead of just we could do the moving around, of course, but to have a hands-on, something similar, not the same thing as it, but remember the rock thing where you're pouring the rock thing?
Yeah.
Some kind of, what do you call it, where they can kind of come and see that, because that takes your mind into playtime.
So there's something for taking notes.
Oh,
I have an
awesome.
exercise where I ask for some volunteers, 2 volunteers who come up.
Awesome.
And then what I'll do is I'll flash on them. You probably saw it, but I flash a picture, and I'm like, you got 15 seconds
I do
to. One
remember
person's
that.
going to write it, and the other person's going to just memorize it. And it's like, okay, go ahead and sit back
That was
down.
amazing.
And then we'll get them to come up later on and be like, all right, tell me what you remember, and tell me what you wrote. And the person who has notes, they have it so much better.
So my question is, when you came to our church, whatever you cast was enough to get everybody in that whole church involved. Everybody, you had everybody. So that your framework that you were using then was like,
That's similar. It's basically what this
Same,
is.
okay.
It's
one second, that definitely
very
works.
similar.
So I feel like, well, what am I doing here? What do you need me for? Because it was really fabulous.
Yeah, a lot of that success came from Michael's mind of how he came up with a lot of those exercises involvements. I was like, hey, I want to involve the audience. He's like,
okay.
what if you do this? And he's got an allegorical mind.
Because you have to do that, and then here you're like, oh yeah, I have that. I'm like, well, good. And I'm thinking, why am I here? Because he
Remember
knows
you did
the
something
same things
before.
that I do. Okay, so that's what I do
But-
with my events too.
But Michael did that for like the first presentation.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really have that for the other live casts. Different people have different skills. Like I can implement it if someone has the idea.
Oh, gotcha.
So your suggestion
Mhm.
is great. I gave an example of us doing it here, but
Yes.
we don't have any of that
For
on
the
some of
other
the
three.
others, the other 6, because we got
6. Okay.
six live
Right.
live casts.
Let me. I think I need to go through those live casts and see what kind of thing I can come up with in my head, and then we can brainstorm. Because 2 people should always brainstorm when they come together. So if you
And
and I
Mom loves
get together and brainstorm, we'll come up with the basics, and then you and I can critique it, and then we can get the information to him, and he can do it. He can
That
implement
sounds
it.
good.
And
That'd
he'll
be
need
great.
to implement it one time before we do the thing, so he's not going. How does this go again? He can just do it once or twice before.
I mean, that's what that's what I see the afternoon meetings are for. It's like the practice and the tweaking and testing in a safe
See
environment.
what works.
When?
Yeah.
Which afternoon one? This one? Right
Yeah,
here?
well,
This one?
the
Oh, okay,
afternoons
gotcha.
weekly.
Oh, the weekend one. Okay, perfect. Okay.
And you know the time says 3 to 5:30. That's 2.5. We could say the 30 minutes is for questions.
Well, we don't even need to tell them. We can just incorporate it in our own heads so they know that they're. But you know, what I'm I mean, however, whatever you think.
What questions? I don't know what questions you're referring to.
They get so.
Just so they don't feel like, they're saying, wow, 2.5 hours.
We're not gonna tell them to.
Yeah, we're not going to tell them until it
We're not
starts.
gonna tell
What
them.
if they ask?
If they ask, just say, "Oh, it." I wouldn't even tell them.
Yeah, I don't think they will ask. We'll cross that bridge when we get
How long
there.
does it usually take? Oh, not very long. I just say that because anything could be too long. 30 minutes could be too long. An hour could be too long.
And really, the time is irrelevant. What really matters is the format
Right.
and how it's conductive,
Right.
whether people are standing up, whether they're engaged. Because if you're sitting there watching and just passively listening, that's way too long. But what I want to do is I want to create an event that engages all 6 of their senses, and it's an experience. It's not a lecture.
Right.
And I'm doing a lot less of the
I'm having
talking.
so much fun right now because I love this.
I know, me too.
This morning I was like, Lord, I miss doing, because I used to do park ministries, and the Lord just gave me, He tells me what to do.
Praise
You
the
used to
Lord.
do park ministers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
With
that's
children. I mean, this one time the Lord blessed it. I had He told me to sit down, share my food. I'm like, well, there's no kids. He goes, you bring it and share it, they will come. So I got I don't know if you guys even know what kippers are, but that's fish. Kids don't eat fish. It's kipper snacks is what I had.
Okay.
And I opened them up, and kids do not eat. And so I set them down, and all the kids had fish, which is impossible. And but the Lord told me exactly what to tell them, and He did, and I did, and man, it was amazing. I had a classroom that I didn't even put together. He just did it. So it was pretty neat how when you walk with the Lord, right?
Yes.
He tells you
Amen.
what to do, and you
Divine
obey.
appointments.
Yes, that's how He does. And But I love this right now where he's talking about engaging all the senses.
Yes.
Because that is. And just like whenever you're doing events, I love it because sometimes you talk really slow. Oh,
Yeah.
and he talked about that. What's that guy's name? He said, I'd always change my voice where it's a little bit more deep and people listen. And I'll lean into the camera. Well, I did that with children, but I talk softly. But they don't know what I'm saying. And they're like, I can't hear you. I'm like, because kids are very loud, so you have to get everybody quiet.
Okay, so check this out. This is basically what I'm talking about too. This is why you should always teach what you learn. Well, anyways, 5%. People retain 5% of what you say if it's a lecture and it's just talking, the way sermons are taught. And I want to change the way that sermons are taught. And then if they read it, so they read along in their Bible and they're reading some of the things that they're learning, okay, or they've got a worksheet or summary. And then 20 is audio visual. So I'm speaking and they are they're seeing slides. Demonstration. So that's what we were talking about. Or people like, hey, come up here, I want you to get involved here. Discussion. I want them to discuss with each other in small groups and discuss with the class in short, like just shout out words. And then practice doing. If we can give them, and then the worksheet is like, you're doing this. You just fill this out and let's practice. Let's do 2 by 2, the experienced and inexperienced, technical, non-techie, so we can get together so we can all learn and do. And then it's like, teach to others. I want to incorporate these things somehow.
It'd be a good thing to train the people to go home and teach their own family members.
That would be good too.
Because I went home with David, with what our brother Conrad shared.
That's good.
And I went home and took all of my notes and had David read all those verses.
Awesome.
But I didn't expound on any of them. I just put it as like, Lord, you're going to have to do it because you know the heart, David.
Yeah.
But it was exciting. I was excited.
That's
okay,
good.
so I like this. And then
So every single lesson, I want to incorporate as many of those as we can. Because then, we'll get 90% retention. That's the way to go.
I believe that. I believe that. And when you're engaging like that, that causes the members of the body to become family. That's what they did in Jesus' day. He had stories that they could see in their head, things, and I don't know the word for it. If it's wrong what I say, I always say slap them in the face. But
catch their attention.
Yes.
Hook them, wake them up.
And they're like, whoa, because he would tell stories about a fig, and then he'd show them like,
so vivid.
He was at the senses. He dealt with the senses.
Yeah, and Jesus' PowerPoint was like, he's walking in a field and he's like, consider the lilies. It's like PowerPoint. And he's just like, you're there. You're like standing on all the salt that the people are like trampling under. He's like, look, the salt that's lost its savor is good for nothing. People just trample it underfoot. And it's so visual, like, whoa.
And you're like, dude, I'm standing on it. Whoa.
Yes.
I love it. I love how Jesus, that's what this morning I was like, Lord, please let everything come together the way you want it because you're the master teacher. You're you're our example. You fed them. And that's what I was thinking.
And he took them out on the mountainside.
Oh, it was amazing. 5,000 people. I thought, did he have to announce anything? No. They came. Why did they come? They came because their needs were being met. That's why they came. Mm-hmm. They were hungry for the truth because they weren't getting the truth somewhere. They weren't getting the truth, so they were hungry. And they came and they sat. And he didn't come to call the righteous. He came to call the sinner. And they came and they sat and they couldn't get enough. They were like, they wanted the truth. And the world is hungry right now.
They are.
And he said, look out. And my thing is, I've been asking God, this is what bothers me. It's like, Lord, I don't even really know how to reach them because before you gave me a message and I could reach them left and right. It seemed like every person I talked to was open, like an open flower. It's like, but the Lord, it's like the minds are so, like, closed. Like, they should be open. I think they're open, like, if you tell them in time stuff, like how we can get through a virus or how we can get through, what do you call it? Those are tools, but the world feels hopeless. I mean, that's why the suicide rate is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're depressed.
Yes, and I'm like, dude, I think the generation of David, that is going to explain the world. And if we can't reach a David, then how in the world are we going to reach the world? But you are. The Lord's using it to reach David's. And but the thing about it is I keep thinking about that because last night I saw, I'm sorry I'm getting off to a sidetrack, but it's very important to me, where Google is being sued again by another group, and I didn't know this group existed, but the contents, the people that view the contents to be, that allow the postings, they're having mass trauma right now. They're suing for 54, I don't remember if it's billion or $1 million. It's crazy because they can't sleep no more. They have to carry guns. They're all smoking and doing drugs now at work because they have, what do you call it when you see too much trauma?
PTSD.
Bad. They can't even function anymore. They can't even go home. They're like a mess. Their lives are destroyed.
Oh, workers at Google?
Yep.
Really?
Not Google, Facebook.
Oh, really?
They have to view the contents before it can be posted, and they are having so many murders, so many rapes, and so many suicides that it's traumatizing. And they said it's so bad. So bad. So when we're marketing, we can also market to our people because it's a whole group of those people. I think it's 10,000 employees that are going through. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And their lives are destroyed. So we need to be, as we're posting these, we need to be thinking about those people. That's 10,000 people we could reach because they have to view everything you post. They have to view it. So that's another targeted audience is them specifically.
Mm-hmm. And target audiences are really helpful.
That's a big one. That's 10,000 people that has to sit there and go through everything that goes on Facebook.
I didn't
There's
know they had
keywords.
people that do that.
They did. But they also have, what do you call it? They use first the algorithms,
Yeah.
but then they have a
So
whole...
if something gets reported, then the humans who go through the reported ones.
It could be. I don't know how the system works.
I think that's how the systems work. Because
But-
algorithms is the first step, and
First
if they
step.
trigger it, then it goes to a human.
That could be.
and
That could very well.
YouTube
But that's a
works
lot
Are
of
you going
people.
to drink your isogenics?
Yeah, but I just drank a bottle and a half before you handed that to me.
But that's a lot of people's lives are being destroyed.
It
I mean,
is.
the stuff they
unfortunate.
see, I can't even imagine.
So we got to get this event together and
Yes.
take it to the world
Yep.
and the people to be able to get the content out
Yep.
to help them.
So to end it here, you and I
Next week?
this week. Oh, this coming week. This
Yeah.
week starting Sunday.
Yeah.
So, do I have a copy of this already?
Not really.
No. Okay, so what you and I will have to sit down and do this together, kind of. I will have to, I mean, I can do the basics, but I want to make sure. Can I just spend a few minutes just to read through it? And then maybe I can say, I don't need you, I need you.
Yeah, but that thing is,
Okay.
I messed up here. This thing is all messed up because I
Can you
learned a
make a
lot. That was the very first thing I've
Can I
ever
just make a
created.
copy of this so I can scratch on it? I can write on it and scribble and we can highlight stuff and you can go through
Yeah,
it.
that's
say
what I
yes.
want to do. That's what I want to do with these workbooks that we're
Okay.
doing. This is a scratch, scribble, and
Oh,
everything. So
okay.
if you get a binder,
Okay.
we can
Okay.
get you loaded up with
So
some
this is the same
things.
thing we're going to be given to Meggie. The same things and whatever, right?
Yeah, essentially. Mhm.
And the binders. So what can I do right now? What do you want done for me before we get there? I'm going to get the binders. That's on my list. But what can I do right now? To this week. What do you want me to do?
To prepare, I want to try to figure out the
Curriculum?
yeah. When I was going over the curriculum last night,
Because that's important.
I realized that it's not what I was hoping it would be. Because
You're using that as your sample.
some of these things are like yeah. My original intent was to use what we did for the program,
Mm-hmm.
those 6 live casts that start in December, which is this is December.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go over those points, but then I realized, like, I'm thinking maybe one of the first things that we should share is to deal with their mindset as they're learning this thing. Like what I did at church with the biblical affirmations and just setting your mind to realize you got to claim the promises of God. Like, one of the most important thing is the words that you say as you're learning. If you say, I can't learn this, I'm not technical, I don't understand, I don't get this, I'm an old dog,
So
I can't learn new tricks. Like, it doesn't matter what I share with you or who's your partner. If you're saying all of these negative affirmations, you will not learn.
So you're wanting to give them equipment on tools to learn. This is how we learn. Is
Yeah.
not by being.
And that's basically what the whole program is tools how to learn.
Okay.
And teach people how to learn. I really want to show people how to do that.
Yeah. So you're teaching them how to get their mind lined up first. That's step
And
one. Or?
yes, well, I don't know. That's what I was starting to wonder last night. That might be step 1 out of 4. Because it's like some of this stuff is unnecessary until they really get that mindset right.
Okay. So what can I do? What do you want me to do? Because I can get a binder and I can do whatever you want me to do. What can I do? Am I missing something? Did I miss part of the conversation? Am I like something over my head? What I feel like this has to be done by this week, right? Just that one. I would like to work on it. I don't know where you want me to begin. Do you want me to start by doing the months that are missing. And you said the months are missing are on a video or something, right? You have them on the video, this 3 and 3.
Probably what we could do is get you acquainted with the resources that are there so you can get an idea of what they look like.
Oh, you already have, yeah.
We have some, but the reason why I say that is because so as far as the live casts go, this is kind of the outline for these weekly meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the first half there is no worksheet.
That's what you're telling me, no worksheets.
And
That's the ones you're saying you need worksheets for.
yeah, and then the last half you might benefit by seeing what those worksheets look like.
Right. So those other ones could be copied just like the ones like these 3, right?
That
same
would work,
format?
or
Format?
improved upon. Like we could always improve them.
Okay.
That's one person's mind. That's Victoria's mind, who put that type of worksheet together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's different formats that work, but we
Okay.
can copy them exactly like that.
Well, we should use a basic and we can critique it.
Yeah. So to get something done, we should probably
We just need
copy
to get
it
it done.
for
Yeah.
for speed.
For speed, because we're coming up on it, and we can critique it. I mean, I can critique it as I go because we
Yeah.
want to fall within this hour because you have pictures, you have all the different things that you want to incorporate these on the learning process.
And I don't know how long that takes. Maybe you could help with the
I will.
backtracking. See how long that takes.
Can I just have a copy of this real quick downstairs? Can I just?
Yeah, we can print you a copy.
Okay, I was gonna say because I could probably. Is there a way I can come in? Let's see. I have Solomon. I have to get ready to go and babysit. My whole problem.
Oh, okay.
So my whole
you
thing
want it
is,
now.
I want something I can look at like right now,
Okay.
so I can.
Well, the best thing is, like, I know you want a hard copy, so.
I know it sounds crazy, but it's easier for me to.
No, it doesn't sound crazy.
I scribble and
I
I
know
write.
it's easier.
I spend more time trying to navigate, and I can never. Every time I find it, I'm like, I'm too tired. After it takes me so long to find places.
So, like, this is what it looks like in the members area. I'll print it off, but
Members area of where at?
this is the Direction from God,
Direction.
directionfromgod.com. So this is online course, the membership, like the
Okay.
a lot of this stuff, they have access there.
Mhm.
So here's the training for 90 minutes. That was the first one we did. And then we gave them an audio download they could listen to.
Okay.
And here's a worksheet link, which is actually
Oh, so
summary.
you have a worksheet link.
No, it's actually a summary. It's not a worksheet.
Okay.
We were calling it a worksheet back then, but this is what you were talking about.
So I need to be able to go on this website.
It would be good for you to navigate on this website. You have an account.
Okay.
What happened to... Why are all those on one page and not this? So confused.
Okay, you're gonna think this is crazy, but if you will send me, if you will just, I mean, I know I already have that link, but so I don't go home and go, where was this place at again? I'm supposed to go. If you could just send me, I'll send myself it right now. You said it's called Army.
Directionfromgod.com.
I know that sounds crazy.
It doesn't sound
it?
crazy.
I just,
Okay.
I spend all my time going through different things trying to find out where I'm supposed to be at. Okay, let's see. To Diana. Let's see. New message. I mean, it takes me this long to try to figure out how to send a message, okay? That's how bad it is. Okay, message. Let's see. How do I do a message? Just regular, plain old message. Conversation.
On Messenger?
No, just regular message. So I'm trying to send you a message.
Text message?
Yeah, or just here, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
You
but
hit the new
Oh, thank
message button.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That's right.
I hate it. Okay, the recipient is me.
That's how we all start. That's how I started.
Okay. So now, how do I? So me. So now, when can I type? Oh, I guess I can type there. I hope that's me. Okay, I don't know. We'll see if it goes through. Directions from God. Directions from God. What is it? .com.
Yes. But I would type the whole thing though, because you're not going to
Oh.
remember that. Directionfromgod.com.
Okay, directions from .com. Does that say it's going to that right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you spell it right? There's no space. If you click that link, it's not gonna take you there.
Oh, I didn't even know I was making a link.
Yeah, anytime you put .com to something, it's a
It
link.
makes a link?
Yeah, it makes a link. That's how links get created.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I always wondered how people did that. I never knew.
3 to 7. Oh.
Wow, I was trying to send a link the other day for Army of Youth, and I didn't know how to do it, so I was never able to send them a link. I just said, go to the internet, type this in.
Well, you're learning. That's how you learn.
Okay, so now I'm going to push on it and see what happens. See if I go to Directions from God. Web page not found. Okay.
Direction from God? Are you saying directions?
Mm-hmm.
There's no S.
No, that's why. Okay. Go back. Now you know why we use paper. Okay, let's try it now. Direction from God. Direction from God. That'll help me.
So I think I got it printing. I don't know if the printer's on, but interesting devotions worksheet. What is that? Thank you, Kathy.
Sure.
Oh, there we go.
It's printing.
Thank you.
Reading the Bible is confusing. The one Bible. Register.
I go to the very top. See where it says student login? You do student login, you log into your account that you created.
Oh, no.
You just use the same account.
Oh.
You've done it before.
Oh, let's try to see if I can remember it. Okay, let's see. Email is.
I could look up
me
what
try.
email that you used.
We used the Google one.
I don't know. I don't think so. That's the one that you created.
And then I'll use my other one. To Yahoo. Password.
Members.
I don't.
So your name is.
And
What was your name? Diana.
You got two of the.
We don't have Diana on there. Sterling. Yeah, I created one last night. I printed one of the
Oh, okay.
curriculums last night.
Okay.
Morgan.
One. I don't think that's right. Oh, maybe it is. Log into your account. Nope, that's
Sterling.
not right.
Okay, so it's Sterling Road 2 at Yahoo.
Okay, I just did that. But what's the password?
The password is whatever password you would create. And that's what you would have created on December 17th. You created that account on the 17th of December.
So
Well,
one whole
use the
set?
same set, since
Yeah, we
the-
could just leave them over there.
Okay.
Do you know who I made it with?
I sent you a link on Messenger and you created an account. But there's a forgot password button. You can just type in your Sterling and then hit the forgot password.
Okay.
When you get the
I have a hard time logging into my account, though. I'll tell you now, my Yahoo. It takes
Oh,
me
you
about
do?
5 minutes to get into it.
What?
It just does.
Why?
Because I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to check your email?
No. That's why I never close it out. That's why I always leave it open.
Well, you're talking about the email, the password?
Yeah.
Or the actual navigating the...
Hold on a second. Okay, so when I go, that's why I don't usually close out my account and I try to make it memorize my thing because when it asks me what my password is, I'm like, I try to remember what you said. Don't change my password. Keep your password the same. But then it says sometimes it'll say, "Oh, if somebody looks like it's tried to use your account, you must change your new password." And I'm like, why? It takes me forever to set one up. Why would you do this to me? It takes me an hour.
I don't like
Okay, so the password. Maybe it's just my password from my account. Maybe my.
Yeah, I think it is. So I think that's what you would use in December.
I don't know this is it, but. Why do they do this? Can they just memorize it and leave it alone? I hate this. And then you have to retype the whole word again. Sterling Road. You have to retype all that. Okay. Okay, what could it possibly be? I think I hadn't been with your mom yet, so it wouldn't be the one.
I hope you wouldn't have been with Mom yet.
Okay, I need to make a new password, and then hopefully I'll try to log into my Yahoo account. My Yahoo should be up. I mean, I should be able just to push a button and be on it without.
Yeah, you
So
should.
it should be okay.
Yeah, you should be okay.
Okay.
You don't really log out on your phone.
Thank goodness. I have done it on accident a couple times. It's been miserable. Okay, got my password. Log in, put my password. Okay, now what? Send me reset password instructions. Okay. So it's making me redo the whole thing again? I don't know the password. So when it says password, but I just already pushed the button that said forgot password, now it's making me redo my password again? I don't get it.
Yeah, when you say you forgot password, it usually has you put in a new password.
It doesn't say new password, it just says password. Should it say new password?
Did you hit?
I already did that before. Down below it, right there. Yeah, forgot my password.
So then, that's what happens when you click forgot my password.
Okay, and then I pushed this, right? Which I just did. And then I went to here,
So.
and it says still, put your password again. And I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah, but it told you to go. Look, you didn't read it.
It says, send me reset password instructions. I said yes.
So that's to your email.
I know, I put my email in here, right?
No, it's sent to your email.
Oh.
You told them to send it to your email.
No wonder I'm having problems. Okay, so now I have to go to my email to get this.
That's right.
Send,
So we got 2 to 4. Control P.
Okay, where am I? My email. Where do I go to get it?
Pages 2 to 4.
Oh, where do I get it? To log on. Yahoo Mail. It's trying to log on. Sorry, I'm taking too long to try basic. Okay. I could be here all day trying over and over again.
Have you gone to your email?
I'm still trying to get to my email.
Oh, well, that's not all day. It's just a matter of going.
I've been
Over
here
your
2
email.
times. Oh, I've been to this.
Have you? Are you logged into your email on here?
I don't know. I think okay, finally came up. Okay, reset password. Okay.
You got it. You just gotta be patient.
Well, I did it every time they said it was. Let's see. Where it go? Change my password right here, I guess. Okay. Okay, so I'm back here. So you must be logged in.
Oh yeah, you got it. Look at that. Cool. So, the live cast replays. These are the ones that we just did. So the Sabbath sermon that I gave came from this May one, and when you click it, it changes over there. So you see where it says your current weakness. When you click that, it changes. See how it did that?
Mm-hmm.
So you just scroll down and it has the worksheet, has a summary. Those are the two, the worksheet and the
Okay.
summary.
Okay. Okay, well, let's try that then. Okay. I hate to say I have to leave, but I have to go babysit.
I
I have to go
understand.
work.
This is for you to,
Scribble one?
yeah, you scribble on this. This goes in your binder.
Jimmy, you punch the holes in that for her?
Sure, there's more that were just printed too.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, I'll go get those.
Thank you. Okay, I'll work on this. This is exciting. So maybe I'll have something to present tomorrow morning. That'd be great. And then we can critique it again.
Okay, that'd be great.
We'll just get the basics done. I just got a Google Drive and I'll get on there. Google Drive, Google Docs. Right?
They're the same thing.
I went into Google and I couldn't get to it earlier. It's like I had to go to Drive first.
What is it critiquing that you're doing? Well, you could critique it on there. And just bring your printed paper.
Oh, just this one? Okay.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
Carmen and I can upgrade it.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so on these, there's 2 of these.
So I did three, one for you, one for me, one for Diana.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Of each of them then?
Yeah,
1, 2,
pretty much
3.
everything I printed.
Okay, good.
3 of each, one for you, me, and
1,
Diana.
2, and 3.
Yep, those go together. So this is, it's not
Same thing
dated.
as that.
This is from May.
It is May.
Okay.
No, that's
Do you want me
actually
to punch the holes in?
April.
Could you hand me the pen? My pen, yeah.
It's for April.
Is this for April?
Yeah.
Do you want holes punched in yours?
Oh, good.
Sure,
I
that'd
love
be great.
doing stuff
Thank
like
you.
this.
And
This
this
will be
too.
This one too. Do you want me to punch holes in those real quick for you?
Please.
Okay. All right.
So that way you have something physical, an example.
Yeah, I like what goes with that
Do you want to hand me my
That's good.
phone real quick? Cancel it one.
Cancel, I can cancel.
Thank you very much.
Praise the Lord, I think we got a lot done.
stuff. Well, I don't know.
I
I
think
got
so.
clarity from here, nothing else.
No, clarity is important.
Yeah.
Clarity is very
I feel like I
important.
say that every time I come. I'm like, dude, then when am I really going to get it? And I think I get it, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? There's more to get.
That's probably my fault.
Ooh,